Welcome back and thanks for staying with us here on Breakfast Central. Let's take a look at the front pages of the papers, and that's exactly what we're going to next. We do have our guest who's joining us here today. His name is Mr. Sesan Okunade. It's been a long time since we saw.
A very long time for a long thing, and this morning I'm bringing rain, which is also a blessing.
And I asked him, I said, it seems like you went to align with the center.
You see, when there is alignment, you must see how you follow the trend.
So have you decamped to the APC as well? Because everybody and their daddies are decamping to APC.
Well, we don't need to decamp. We stay where we are and give our objective view. If they feel that they need our attention, they will call us. We don't need to be political. Let's just be professional.
So if they need your attention, they call you, you will go.
Is it not to serve your father's land?
Hey.
How only call it up like this now? Is it a crime to serve your father's land?
That would not be called a decamp.
It's not a decamp now.
After all, the former national anthem said to serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
That's just it. Serving my father's land shouldn't be a crime.
Okay.
I should just give my best as a professional and we move.
Okay, let's go into the papers. Daily Trust newspaper, the big story there, June 12. Protest against hardship, insecurity to hold in 20 states, according to organizers. 96 houses burnt down in Plateau community. ICC commissioned, renamed after Tinubu. Again, truck drivers killed in Imo. We'll come to find out the details of that. Why INEC is yet to conduct by-elections into 7 seats at National Assembly. Northeast to experience 4-day blackout. Gunmen kill 4 in fresh attack in Benue. Let's talk about the protests. The protests that are happening, they've said that it will happen in 20 states, according to the organizers. They are protesting against hardship and insecurity.
Thank you very much. If you see what the Constitution speaks about, there is this freedom of gathering, freedom of association, freedom of speech, as we may have it. So people have the right to actually look for one way or the other to express their dissatisfaction about what the current administration is all about. And the 2 key things they are addressed is what the government is expected of as entrenched in the Constitution. I think subsection 14, subsection 2 speaks to government being responsible for the welfare of the citizen and also the security of lives and property. And this is actually fundamental. I was, while you're reading that Daily Trust, I don't know the paper that Joe would definitely read. Out of the 7 headlines you read, 3 speaks to deaths. 96 houses burnt in Plateau, 4 killed in a particular place. And you ask yourself, at what point are we going to nip this issue of insecurity on the board and be able to have safer area? Because one thing we keep saying is that a secured environment is a prosperous environment. Yeah. So areas where they are burning houses, where they are killing people, I'm sure people there will not be sleeping with their 2 eyes. Yeah. When you don't sleep with your 2 eyes, it's impacting on your health. Because with time, you just get deteriorated and you'll not be able to give the best that is expected of you productive-wise. So, and you can see that day by day, it keeps expanding. Where you move from the east to the south, to the west, to the north, as we speak, nowhere is safe, except you're able, even people that feel that they can protect themselves, people go all around. And it boils down to what I would say, hunger. A lot of people are actually venturing into what they should not venture into because they just need to make ends meet. You see, let's leave the area of terrorists and the other people. When you drive your car, as we speak, you see people on the street attacking you to dispossess you of your belonging. That on its own is insecurity. Because I remember those days when you grew up, while we were growing up, you can move at any time of the day in this state. Is it the same as we speak? There are certain areas they will always call flash areas where you can't move once it's 8 o'clock. But those days, you even see people when you go to Lagos Island, go to certain area, at 1 a.m., it's like daytime, where people are buying food, people are just cooking, and they are moving. But it's not like that, even in our state. When you travel, those days, I keep saying it, with all boldness, to travel at night. I will leave Lagos as late as 8 p.m., and I'll be heading to Akure, I'll be heading to Ekiti. Because you feel so cool, everywhere is peaceful. But you can't even try during the day so that you will not be attacked. So I feel the justification for them to express their mind is there, but I have a concern. What is the position of the security agency to protect so that it will not be hijacked? Most of the problem, it is the people that will organize this, they will have good intention. Some people are planning behind the scene to see how they will dislodge people.
Who are the people that are planning behind the scene to hijack it?
You and I, you know that.
I don't know.
Some people will take advantage of this genuine protest of expressing their mind and even dealing with the people that are actually being punished too. It's like you are receiving double punishment.
So are you saying that they are paid to do that? These people that would.
Well, some are paid, some are doing it on their own volume, just to make sure that, okay, you feel that you are out to come and do this. It's because you are okay. That's why you are coming out to protest. Let's come and take from what you even have and just take our own fair share of it, because everybody have different mindset to this thing. So that's why I'm of the opinion that those that are actually organizing this, they should seek police protection and be able to say, this is our intention. If you see anyone who is actually capitalizing to dislodge, I will tell people that the intention of October 20 that happened then was NSAS protest, was in fair deal. See how it was at the beginning. And all of a sudden, what we could hear is that people burning things, people dislodging people of their property and the like. It's what government needs to hear, but they need the protection of the security agency so that it will not be hijacked. I keep telling everybody, if you are protesting, every other people should have that leeway to carry on their own business too, even when they are not joining you. Not that somebody will be feeling that, do you think you are safe? That's why you can own your... Because people live on daily income. If you are protesting, some will be there to come and sell their own goodies. So that when you need water, they must make money.
But the protesters sometimes offer water. It's planned.
And where would they get it from now? Is it not from the same set of people? So we should balance the act. That's what I'm saying.
So do you support the protest? Would you on the right?
It's freedom. It's the right of everyone to express their displeasure if they are not finding things right. The question is, will you join them? Well, I don't know where I will be tomorrow.
Okay. And then also law enforcement. We're expecting that law enforcement should be able to be on ground to protect them.
Yeah,
And
well,
ensure
I believe they will have an handshake
the
with them
smooth
to
flow
make
of
sure
this.
that, so that they can have... There is no crime in them expressing themselves on things that are not.
Okay,
Anyway.
we're seeing here. Okay, Joe, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
We can come back to Daily Trust. Let's try and see if we can touch our papers.
So let's check another paper very quickly. The Daily Times has a very strong header, of which I stumbled on yesterday as well, especially now that we're counting down to, looking at the time, roughly 15 hours to Democracy Day. Fubara can't be forgiven. APC not dumping ground. Okocha has spoken. This is in line with the rumors. We also spoke with a PDP chieftain who just left here now about those who are decamping and moving to the APC. He made very salient and very deep-seated points on certain things to look out for. He also mentioned that there's going to be an implosion. But then again, we're starting to see something here, which we can link to what he had said. Fubara can't be forgiven. Let's talk about this. What do you make of an elected governor of a state who was elected by the people, yet he was suspended by the presidency, and the presidency is rolling out measures to celebrate Democracy Day, and some people feel it is undemocratic to have suspended a governor of a state for that long? I mean, what's your take with all of this?
Yeah, I've said this times with that number, that the initial position of Mr. President, as he got his backing from the Constitution, I think we are taking it too far. Because the people, the same way Mr. President was elected and the other serving politician, is the same way this governor was actually appointed. I was thinking that the state of emergency would definitely not exceed just 1 month for them to have a ground where everybody will be able to, a level playing ground where everybody will be able to come back to a round table, have a grand discussion, as politician that it is. But I think we are taking it beyond what few of us or a lot of people think, and there are more to it. I told someone while I was coming down this morning that I think one of the democracy gifts Mr. President may be giving to us, even though he hardly prepares some of this thing when he wants to give people. He likes surprises. The same way he gave us subsidy is God. It might be one of the surprises to make a declaration in his speech to reinstate Fubara tomorrow. But having to come to say, look at this, because I feel that the people of that state is actually being cheated in the sense that they are riding on their right. They elected this man, and they are the only one. It's just like when you want to move any member of the National Assembly out, you have to conduct a referendum, put people together, and put that vote of no confidence and say you are pulling them out. The initial talk was insecurity in the state because there were grievances between the State House of Assembly and the governor, which you tried to mediate. But I think within 1 month, if we actually have good intention and good purpose for the people, this should have been settled. But it's going beyond what an average citizen can actually look like. And people coming to say it cannot be forgiven. Today, we have seen a lot of realignment. People that attacked the current president, even on air, openly, coming to say it's the best that we can talk of today. So as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing like nobody can be forgiven. I'm sure they will get to a position, but I feel Mr. President owed the nation and the people of Rivers State that particular gifts to give back to them by reinstating. By now, with the peace accord, you have gone far in, settling the two sides in such a way to give the people of the state what they voted. They voted, whether it's by any means you want to talk about it, INEC declared him as the governor of the state. And it is not by fiat, it's by the reading of the result of the people of Rivers State. So I feel that Mr. President should surprise the people by actually reinstating this man and having a democratic governor for that state carrying on the operation as against the administrator that we are there currently.
There's another big story there on the front page of the Daily Times, and I think we need to look at this. Nigeria needs political, not violent revolution, according to Amadi, as a regular guest here as well on Breakfast Central and News Central. Wike renames ICC after Tinubu. This has generated so much reaction. I'd like you to react to that, but not until you react to this one first. While we see in the picture there, the FCT minister, the grand launch of the ICC, which was renamed. Under that picture, Boko Haram seizes American missionary in Borno. We're starting to see insecurity rear its ugly head once again in every part. So you could take one. The ICC being renamed, and then, of course, the insecurity in the north.
Yeah, you see, this particular act, I'm not in support of it by naming Mr. President, who is serving president, a serving person, you are given the name. What we grew up to know is that after good delivery of either a president, a governor, certain areas are named after them, not when you are serving. I think I saw one of it in our state here in Lagos, and not too long I saw that it was actually changed. One was named after a particular structure, was named after the current governor, and we even saw that they've inscribed it there. But we got there not too long after that it was actually removed. I think it's unethical, if you ask me, to actually be naming a serving person. So if tomorrow people are languishing in abject poverty, we are talking about multidimensional thing, hardship is in the ground, and all we could do is after. So all you have done is that, Mr. President, for giving me the leeway to actually do this, have this while you are still serving. I feel it is not right, and I don't know Mr. President's position. He has gone to commission it, but I feel if you look at all the areas where you see people being named after, even where you see the current president having his name as a street in Lagos, was after he has served meritoriously. They state that they feel that let's use this to honor it. I feel that it's unethical. It doesn't sound nice. If you ask me, it's my personal view. I feel that should have been possibly after the expiration of Mr. President. You can still call it ICC, and when he has actually, finished his term in office, use that to honor him, if indeed he deserves, not coming to actually give that while he's still in office. I would say professionally it's unethical by my own view.
Okay, let's go to the third paper, and then we can revisit the first to take some other stories. But just to mention to our audience, if you'd like to call in and share your thoughts on any of the stories, the number to call is on your TV screen. We want to get your thoughts and hear from you as well. Let's go to Nigerian News Direct. On the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, protesters set to storm Abuja, Lagos, Delta, others seek police protection for demonstrators. We also have here, Rivers APC rejects Fubara's alleged defection plan, warns sins won't be forgiven. Federal government unveils $50 million investment fund to accelerate economic transformation. Don't pay attention to busybody and bystanders. Continue your good work. Tinubu tells Wike, again, still on the Nigerian News Direct. It says, Nigerian News Direct, don't pay attention to busybody and bystanders. Continue your good work. Of course, I want you to react to that. But at the top, we have a columnist, 6 years of enduring impact and the journey to the future by Babajide Sanwo-Olu. World Bank predicts sluggish growth for global economy. If global economy is experiencing sluggish growth, what will now happen to our own economy?
Snail growth.
Ayeleo, Ibosio.
There's one between sluggish. Sluggish is, when you do something sluggishly.
You are moving,
but
you can be staggering.
But snail, before the sun shines, one step, you wait again for 15 hours, another step.
Dangote set to shake up downstream sector, list refinery on capital market. And that's all here. But let's get, this bromance between the FCT minister and the president. He said don't pay attention to busybody and bystanders. I don't know if we have the clip where the president's sort of giving a nod of
moving, but you can be staggering.
But snail, before the sun shines, one step, you wait again for 15 hours, another step.
Dangote set to shake up downstream sector, list refinery on capital market. And that's all here. But let's get, this bromance between the FCT minister and the president. He said don't pay attention to busybody and bystanders. I don't know if we have the clip where the president's sort of giving a nod of approval to the FCT minister. Remember that the conversation about the 34 embassies being potentially shut due to failure of ground rent came up yesterday. And people were asking, why is the FCT minister threatening to shut down these embassies? They ought to have shut them down since, but after the public outcry, the president intervened and gave them a 14-day notice. So this is over 3 billion naira that is being owed in terms of ground rent. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said he should not mind his stayers. In fact, he said, if you want to use the land, you have to pay the landlord. I don't know if we have that clip. It would be great if we had the clip for us to play. Let's take a look at the clip.
Okay.
I say once again to all of you, Baraka de Salah. And you must obey what the landlord says. You want to use this place? You got to pay for it.
Well, it's obvious. Remember that, that just yesterday, the FCT minister also gave a speech after the president had spoken. And he said that that statement the president made, he was also talking about the ICC, the center, that if you need to use it, you have to pay something.
And then the band gave us back up with never. I missed that.
I wish we had this dance step. I don't know if we had that video.
No, recently, I think he has not been dancing the way he did.
He danced yesterday.
No,
yesterday was like,
I didn't watch it.
Yesterday was like, finally we've commissioned, and then he did his normal moves that we know him to do. Exactly, those free moves,
But maybe I will say this, Joe, and I must give it to Wike. I go to Abuja regularly. And not just with this administration, but if you compare they call him Mr. Project in Abuja. See most of their metro buses, you will see that at the back, Mr. Project. It's not just giving him that fame. There have been tremendous project, infrastructure development, linking the hinterlands, the main city and those areas. You can have good road network. What the master plan seems to look like, Wike seems to be bringing it out. I must give it to him. These days in Abuja, it takes you shorter time to move to several areas. So we must applaud when somebody is doing certain things right. And when certain people came to criticize him on this issue of Grand Land, I said, well, I don't see anything wrong in you fulfilling your obligation. As far as this organization is concerned, there are statutory fees expected of you to pay to federal government, to pay to the states, and you will have your demand notice, and you decide to turn different eyes against states. It doesn't work. Every organization must stand up to the... It's not only... And what Wike is saying now, from what you said, that anybody that must use this place must pay. So you won't come to say it's a government agency. You know now, paddy. No, it's not only private people that will be paying. That's what he's saying. As government agency, you want to do something there for the government,
pay something.
You must pay. And that's the truth. If they don't pay, how do they maintain the facility when everybody is using it for free? So this is what we call public-private partnership. It is not only when you have the contribution of the private sector into the building of the infrastructure that you do that. No, let's have that orientation of saying that every of the government facility, because most of the time, among their budget, they will budget for that particular hall to be paid for. And some people will divert it and say it's government, it's paddy, let's get some of this. So for me, I think Wike is doing his best in Abuja. I can see it. I'm not being told. I go to Abuja frequently. I'm not being told. We can see the development there. And I feel if anybody needs to make use of the service, maybe the area we want to speak to is, are those things really affordable? I hope with this new launch on, we will not be moving to, maybe if the facility used to be like 2 million, then you'll now be talking of 20 million and say, can't you see the state-of-the-art infrastructure to actually make this? We should make it, there's one thing for something to be available and also affordable for the people to make use of some of those facilities. But I feel that the president has spoken. If you must actually make use of any, you must respect your landlord and pay your fee. Otherwise, he will reject you out, or he will decide, even when you are forcefully gain entrance into that particular place, he can decide to off the generator, and the ceremony will not hold there.
Okay. Let's go back to the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story I want us to take back on the front page of the Daily Trust, top left corner. Why INEC is here to conduct by-elections into 7 states at the National Assembly. Now, there are several vacancies, about 7 of them, and I think there's 5, and then there's 2. Yes, a breakdown showed that there are 2 vacancies at the Senate and 5 at the House of Rep. Also, while 5 vacancies have been created, sequel to the death of 5 lawmakers in both chambers, 2 vacancies are occasioned by electoral victories of 2 lawmakers. Of course, the likes of Senator Monday Okpewulu, who is now governor. So there are seats that are vacant. But INEC is saying that the funds are not available, that they've not made funds available. They are laughing. They said that when they make the funds available to them, they will do it. Let's get your thoughts on that.
It's disappointing because the people representing that means those 7 areas is actually...
They are lacking representation.
They are lacking representation, whichever way you want to put it. But I know certain people will come out to say, even those that are being represented, what impact are they feeling?
But at least let them have representation. Is their right.
Representation is their right. Yeah. And INEC coming to say they don't have funds to actually carry out those elections. I want to believe that while they are actually making budgets for some of these things, there are room for by-elections that are supposed to actually be carried out. I think the INEC should stand up to the responsibility, do whatever they feel that they can do. This is short-changing certain constituency, not having a say in what they are doing. I don't know, by the time they want to share allocation to every constituency, who takes responsibility for these 7 set of people that are actually not being represented on the seat? Are you going to give it to the governor of the state to actually go and take the duty of either a senator or a member of the House of Representatives? I think the people in that particular state too should cry. I think, pardon me.
They have started crying out, so the number of them are started crying out, asking for
their
representation.
voice is not being heard in the public. This is what should be trending. You cannot be abandoned and you feel that you just keep quiet, let's just say it one and go to bed to rest. As far as I'm concerned, if not that you are reading it, most people don't even know that.
Let me give you an example. Constituents are saying we feel forgotten and neglected. We see residents of Chikun Kajuru Federal Constituency in Kaduna State who have expressed frustration over the delay in filling the vacuum created by the demise of Ekene Adams, saying that they have been shut out of legislative representation at the federal level for a whole year.
Who are they addressing that thing to? Are they seeking the attention of Mr. President on this particular thing? Because it's actually the one that will prevail. If INEC is complaining that fund is not being disbursed, it's on the table of Mr. President, because if you ask the Treasury head, who is the CBN man, to disburse fund, he will tell you that he has no paper on his table for him to approve. I'm sure we all know how it works. So it's when somebody approves. So who are they crying to? They should table their case before the president. And what is the position of the governors of those particular states? Are they not feeling that particular cheat to say, okay, we have other states, 3 representatives. It's just 1 or 2 that we have that are there. If there is going to be a particular thing that they want to pass to the National Assembly, that means they will be shortchanged one way or the other. The governor too needs to stay their own because the president will have the ears of the governor. And the people should cry to the governor.
Let's
for them to feel
take a call from Mohammed calling from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Mohammed. Thanks for calling. Please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Alhaji Hassan Mohammed in Dabaki. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Thank you for calling.
Well, I think celebrating June 12th as a democratic day commemoration of our democracy day is a good one. And I think I would want to urge the president and his team to concentrate in governance, not politicking. You know, when you see somebody campaigning 2 years before his election, then you should ask yourself a question. What have they been doing that they are not getting right, that they are already seeing a red flag across board? And then why do they intend to run a one-party system in a secular nation where we have all ethnic tribes and political parties, where the checks and balance have now been completely, oppressed by the government in power? If you are opposing them, the next thing, your name will be shortlisted for investigation. And the moment you revert to status quo, your sins have been forgiven. What message are we sending as the people? Now look at a situation whereby an elected executive decides to suspend an elected executive in the state, which is completely alien to our constitution. And up to this moment, even the so-called lawyers that are within the circle of the presidency have not been able to come out and tell him that you err, you goof politically because this is not part of our constitutional provision. Let us recall back the governor of Rivers State and allow the people to enjoy the benefits of democracy. But unfortunately, people are using it. You can imagine somebody coming to say the APC is not a dumping ground where the governor of Rivers State that is suspended will be allowed to come in. Are we saying that if you're not in the other side of the divide, you will not be allowed to carry out leadership and dividend of democracy to the people? Because what we are seeing now is not a good thing. So I think I'll urge the president to realign himself with reality, because his major crisis and problems started the day he never opened the door of governance and said he has removed fuel subsidy without even checking the immediate and long-term consequences of the statement. And today, we are all going through the same hell. Some families have not been able to pay 2 years' school fees for their children, and up to this moment, some state and local government have not been paying the so-called minimum wage. And nobody is coming down to speak, even including the FCT. So I think we will urge the president to go back to status quo. Forget about politicking. Go into governance. People are dying in Benue State. Incidentally, I was born in Benue State. I know what the crisis is all about. It has to do with the political elite and the political class. They fight for control of who is in charge and who is not in charge. We could remember the case of Miss Ghana one of the militial man that was killed. It was between Suswan and then Otom. Now it has now become the case between the godson of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and the pastor, Reverend Alia. What are we telling ourselves? We want crisis to erode our leadership and governance at the expense of human life. So I think the president should do something for us as a people. Because the blood money contractors in the defense that are benefiting from the insecurity will never allow people to have peace in this country until we checkmate all those things. People pretend to be NGOs, making supply, making businesses at the expense of human life. The moment peace comes, they will create insecurity to continue with their business. So I think this is not good for us as a people. Thank you, and may God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, he's spoken so much. A lot has been said, and I don't know if you want to write on what he said. I mean, he's lived in Benue, now he's in Port Harcourt.
Yeah, I've only buttressed this point by saying that most of this insecurity, it is not those that you see at the war front that are actually carrying out those things. By people in my language, we say those that are beating the drum are just behind them. You are not seeing the face. Let's unmask those certain set of people that are actually creating this unrest.
Do you agree with the governor of Benue State, Honorable Alia, who said the insecurity is coming from the National Assembly, that they understand from the government? They know what is happening in Benue State.
It's not only from him. A lot of people that are actually have always been saying it. Remember during Jonathan, they said there are people within the government that is actually creating the unrest. But my challenge all the time is, are these people that powerful that you can't unravel them and name them? In this country, we don't know how to name people. Remember when we had issue of Dubai, UAE, telling
giving
us
the
that
sponsors
of up till today,
we've done the work for you.
We've done take, and they give you the answer script. Now to read out those names, your glasses suddenly got missing. You cannot see the names up till today. So we don't like naming, because I want to believe that the people that are actually behind the scene, if you start calling those names, it's like a spiral effect. It will definitely get to people that you'll be saying, so you two, you are there. You two, you are there. So, because if you are pointing fingers, don't just do that. Be able to name names and say, this particular person, let the person come to defend, and let's see the best that we can do. Everybody will definitely come out to see. But what we keep saying is that some people are actually engineering insecurity. Some people are fueling crisis in their state. Who are the people? Some people are mismanaging our funds. Who are the people? Be able to name them so that we can take it up from there. Everybody can now see independently whether you are given the name. Because one thing I love about naming people, when you give a name, that person too will give a name. And we start seeing events unfolding.
But there will be a ripple. There will be a ripple effect.
Let the ripple effect, because the masses are not enjoying anything.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Let's see the ripple effect. When you fight and you fight, everybody now look for a way to say, okay, you've called my name, Abi, and I warned you not to mention my name. I will tell my own side of the story. And when they say it, you see, when these two people are not actually in consonant with one another and they start unveiling, certain truth will come out that the citizen can hold on to and use it, maybe during election or anything that we actually want to say. But I feel that it's high time we start calling names. Enough of this person. You'll be pointing finger to who? And let me tell anybody pointing finger, when you point one at that particular person, the remaining four is coming to you. All we are saying, if you cannot mention names, is that you are the one responsible for that thing. Because the greater percentage of the finger you are pointing is coming to you. But give that one name, and we'll be able to know that.
I can point without the remaining four coming back.
Coming back to you, because I actually mentioned that. So you do that.
Okay, that's on a much lighter note.
No, now you do it too, and I'm pointing it too.
At the end, the bulb.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Just to remind you, as we wrap up this, breakfast show this day, let's tell you that it's special tomorrow. You should not miss it. It's going to air 8:30 tomorrow. Just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, it's by investigative reporter Marshal Onoye. But take a look at the video.
Justice. All I wanted is justice. I was one that was wronged. I was raped twice. I could not speak out. And the time I spoke out, no one gave me the justice I deserved. They didn't give my mother the justice she deserved. Instead, they locked up for trying to get justice for her family.
DPO say, he go show me, he go show my daughter.
Immediately,
the woman set eyes on us. He said they should take us to Kirikiri. That day, they took us to Kirikiri. We spent another 6 days in Kirikiri with hell, with beating, with torture.
Perverted justice for victory. You could find this story and everything 8:30 tomorrow. And tomorrow we also have a special here on Breakfast. We'll be looking at June 12th, Democracy Day. Don't miss it for a thing. It's going to be 3 hours of full conversation around what democracy looks like in the past 26 years. I guess that does it for the show, right?
That does it. Happy Democracy Day in advance, by the way.
Yeah, same to you. I hope that the people will be able to celebrate better the dividend of democracy. We are always hearing dividend of democracy. When are we going to enjoy and benefit? A lot of people sacrifice their life for this, and I think it will be worthy to actually see people have the gain of what democracy should be.
Just like our former anthem said, the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. This is where we draw the curtain on today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back again tomorrow for 3 hours of our Democracy Day special. Please don't miss that. I am Olive Emodi.
And I'm Joe Hansen, thanking you for watching. And make sure you stay with us. Jasiri is up next. And after that, you have Business Edge and more programming. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.